Welcome to day 426, Transformation Day 2. We're going to talk about how to eat right. Today, reference below is the 14-minute Sadhguru video. And he gives you 4 tips on how to eat right. Tip number 1, only eat twice a day. Tip number 2, touch your food. Tip number 3, eat with gratitude. And tip number 4, I forgot. What's tip number 4? Someone help me out. This is horrible. I'll make some shit up. Okay. So Sadhguru is an Indian mystic, and he's got millions of followers. He's I don't think he would describe himself as enlightened, but he had his awakening, several years ago, and he had a multi-million-dollar engineering company, believe it or not. And he had several businesses, and then he sat on a rock one day in Chamonix Hill, and he thought, I'm just going to close my eyes, and and what felt like 30 minutes to him, he opened his eyes, and there were all these people like poking at him and staring at him and asking him questions like, who should my daughter marry, and things like that. And he's like, why are you bothering me? Like, what's the deal? And he's like, I'm trying to just, take a nap. Like, leave me alone. And they were like, dude, you've been sitting here for 3 days. So what seemed like 30 minutes to him, he'd actually been sitting for 3 days. And his legs were so, if you imagine sitting someplace for 3 days, there's no peeing, which you should be peeing every hour. No peeing, no pooping, no eating, no food, no sleeping. And they had to help him uncross his legs. He was so stiff, And that's when he woke up, and he's like, it's the damnedest thing. Like, my business was doing really good. And he's so funny. He's like, I didn't ask to be enlightened. Like, I didn't ask for this. Fast forward, he has built the Isha Foundation. They do tons of volunteerism. He advises head of states of India. He's not political, but political leaders ask him for advice, things like that. One day, he wanted to replant the forests in India. And one day, using nothing but volunteers, in one day, they planted 100 million trees. 100 million trees with nothing more than volunteers. That's effing crazy, man. That is so crazy, right? And his latest project is to help clean up the rivers of India, because the rivers is like, and this is true for everybody. It's the lifeblood. It's your veins and arteries of Mother Earth and of your country, obviously, since that's all a country is Earth, right? Land. Oh yes, do not develop good food habits. That's right. Thank you. Just tip number 4. Okay. So my tips, in addition to his tips, I want to teach you a little bit about his tips, but then I also want to add my own tips. So number 1, we just did this green smoothie, right? And a lot of weight loss surgery patients they're all like, well, Dr. V, like, how green smoothie? It's a liquid. My surgeons tell me, my program tells me, don't live off of green. They tell me not to eat green smoothies. They'd rather have me eat like a piece of steak or, something to fill the pouch. You shouldn't be drinking your calories. Let me tell you, they got it wrong. Okay. They have it wrong. And here's what I want you to do as a comeback to them and say, okay, so doctor, nutritionist, whoever, let me explain to you what's a green smoothie. All right. I've got half a banana. I have an avocado. I have spinach leaves or kale leaves or whatever your greens are. I put a big handful of spinach. I put in some fruit. I put in some cherries, whatever. And then I put in some soy milk for the protein. I put in coconut water for the electrolytes, and no artificial sweeteners. I don't use flavorings. I don't use any of that stuff. And basically, it's a blenderized salad, right? And so you would say to them, what's wrong with that? And I promise you, they don't have an answer. They will stumble and stammer and, oh, well, we just don't recommend it. We just don't recommend it. We just don't recommend it. We just don't. We don't. That's what happens when people don't know. They just start, oh, well, we just don't recommend it, right? They don't really give you an answer. Why? Why don't you recommend it? We just don't. We just don't. There's no answer, right? To which your response should be, Dr. Vuong tells me this, and here's the tip. You drink green smoothies not to keep you full. We want you to feel full. No, I don't want to feel full. You don't drink green smoothies to feel full. You drink green smoothies for the nutrition. That number one tip should be a big aha for a lot of y'all. And especially if you're trying to help your mom or your dad or a loved one who's overweight. Say, mom, dad, let's say, and comment if you have a loved one who's overweight, like your mom or stepmom or sister, right? Just comment real quick. And then what you want to do is say, you know what? You can have your bacon and eggs. All I want you to do is drink this green smoothie first, or drink it with your bacon and eggs. Or instead of orange juice, drink this green smoothie. Instead of your yogurt drink or your processed shake or your Ensure, drink this green smoothie along with your bacon and eggs. Don't take away their bacon and eggs. It's too big of a shock. Now, what you saw me do right there with my green smoothie, that's my breakfast. If I have a green smoothie, that's all I have, right? And because tip number one is you drink your green smoothie for nutrition, not to make you feel full. So your response to your program would be to say, well, tell me something that's more nutritious than that, and I'll do that. And anybody who's open-minded will say, no, you're right. You might want to add some vegan protein powder. And I'll do another video where I'll add the different supplements and stuff. You can add your multivitamin if you don't like the taste and blend them up. Any of that stuff, right? But just know that you have a green smoothie for the nutrition, not to make you feel full. So the next question I get very often is, well, can I have it for lunch? You can have it for fucking lunch. You can have it for dinner. You can have it for whatever you want. You can have it by the pool. You can put some vodka in there. I don't recommend it. And yes, that is Tito's vodka right there. I'm a grown up. So you can do all of that stuff. Just understand that what you're doing is nourishing your body. All right. Now, if you get pushback, the pushback is often, oh, that's weird, or oh, that's too many carbs, or oh, you can taste the spinach. I don't like the taste of spinach, and you have to go. It doesn't taste like spinach. It doesn't taste like banana. It just tastes good. Well, what's it taste like? Just good. Just try it. So tip number 2 is this: don't be the gatekeeper. By that, I mean so many people, I can't tell you how many people say, oh, my kids won't drink that. My kids won't eat that. My husband won't eat that. How the fuck do you know? Quit being the gatekeeper to your family's health. I mean, you're not alone. The last time I checked, most obese people, I have yet to meet anybody who's obese and they're the only overweight person in their family. I have yet to meet them. There's a cousin there somewhere. You might be the only sibling who's overweight, but you got an aunt or an uncle or somebody who can do this journey with you. Amen. I mean, it's just true. Like Erica's skinny. What about Erica? She's skinny. Yeah, but her grandmother's overweight. Both grandmothers. Her mom's starting to gain weight. It happens. These things happen. So you're not in isolation. So quit being the gatekeeper, right? Don't say no for them. This is the same tip that I give patients in my challenge when we're talking about money and they're trying to learn how to improve their MLM, their Mary Kay, their Pampered Chef, their lotions, potions, dildos, whatever. See, I got dildos in. Which is, don't say no for your customers. Don't say no for your clients. Oh, you probably wouldn't like this, would you? Like, don't say that. Dude, this is going to change your life. This lotion potion, this anal cream is going to change your life. This lube is what you need. This big 16-incher, that will do it. That will hit the spot, girl. So you got to be very positive. So I can say without a doubt, green smoothies will change your life. I have no doubt telling y'all green smoothies will change your life, which takes me to tip number 3. Tip number 3. Okay. A lot of times people think like if I eat a lot of food, if I just name your favorites. Now, don't be stupid. I mean, when you were overweight, when you're at your heaviest weight, like what were some things you love to eat? Mashed potatoes and gravy, rice and gravy, chicken and rice. What was something that you were like, wow, I could chow down on that? Casseroles, right? Never ending, like big plates, right? So the problem is a lot of times what we think are rewards, and that's good for us, that's to die for, right? Just eat it, right? Eat a lot of that lasagna, eat a lot of that pizza, eat a lot of those onion rings, right? Eat a lot of that stuff. Now, let me ask you this question. How did you feel afterwards? How did you feel afterwards? About an hour afterwards, how did you feel? I can guarantee you, almost all of y'all were like dragging ass, right? Put dragging ass in the comments. If about an hour after lunch or 2 in the afternoon, you're like you get the afternoon snoozies, you're like little sleepy, you're a little stuff like that, right? And tip number 3 is, how does your body feel, right? Look at this. Fatted and gurgly, dragging bottom, DA, dragging ass, lethargic, right? There you go. Lethargic, carb coma. Okay. So here's the point. The point is this: what you thought in the moment was a treat actually is a punishment. Does that make sense? What I'm just saying there, what I just said there. What you thought was a treat was actually a punishment. What you thought was delicious and to die for, your body told you an hour later, like, dude, you're killing me. You're hurting me. Okay. And I will do the opposite. Watch this. Comment if you've been drinking green smoothies, you follow Dr. V for a long time, and green smoothies has become a part of your habit. First, comment if you, like, after first, like, 3 days of drinking green smoothies, you're like, dude, I feel great. Like, I like don't feel sluggish. I don't feel itchy. I don't feel my tummy's not gurgling and bloated, right? I pooped normally. Comment if that's you. Comment if after just 2 or 3 days of drinking green smoothies, you were pooping normally, you had more energy, you didn't have that 11 a.m. craving, right? So, blown away, baby. Feel great, Tess says. Very energetic, right? Now watch this. Watch this. Comment if after doing smoothies and then you miss them, you skip one, or you're traveling, or you're in a rush, you forget it, you rush out the door to work and you forgot it at home. Comment if you felt like you felt off, you felt tired, you felt sluggish. Watch this, right? Yep. Green smoothies for life. Felt great, satisfied. Me, no bloating, right? Feel great and happy. Felt great. What about when you missed it? How did you feel? When you skip a green smoothie day, you can feel the difference. Here you go. It throws off your whole cycle. Yep. Yes. Carmen Mays, out of kilter. Yes. Right. Joe Bev, very off. Definitely off. Need your energy boost. Okay. So that's your body telling you you need those nutritions. You need that that boost. Now watch this. I got one more. Here's the last one. If you've ever gone from green smoothies and let's say you didn't have them or you forgot it or whatever, and instead you drank an artificial protein shake Ensure, Premier Protein Shake, Isopure. You drank any of these whey protein powders, and suddenly you felt bloated. Comment if that's you. You know, comment if you've ever switched back to a processed protein shake, and then suddenly you're like, whoa, my tummy is bloated, I'm gassy, I'm farting, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll like it'll totally here you go, make me hungry and bloated, make me nauseous, not the same. So sweet and gross. Exactly. That's right. Yep. Felt like crap when I started on Isopure. So AC just had her gastric sleeve, and 2 days post-op, and so her program made her do Isopure. She went from green smoothies to Isopure. It's exactly right. Right? Way down. That's right. Can't do it. Yep. Gassy and bloated. Perfect. See, this is our bodies talking to us. And this is what we have like gotten away from. Okay. So Sadhguru says, first tip, only eat 2 meals a day. Intermittent fasting, you know, like this is nothing new. Let me ask you this question. How many meals a day should you eat? Growing up, how many meals a day have you been told to eat, right? Everybody knows this answer. Everybody knows that growing up, you're supposed to have not 1, not 2, 3 meals a day, right? So they tell you eat 3 meals a day. Why? Let me ask you this question. Why? Why 3 meals a day? Who knows the answer to 3 meals a day? If you think about it, you're never growing up. If you think about it, like, do cavemen and cavewomen eat 3 meals a day? No, they foraged all day long, you know? And let me ask you this question. Which meal were you told growing up? Were you told growing up was the most important meal of the day? What did they tell you? It's always fucking breakfast, right? They're always like, you got to eat breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And you got to have 3 square meals a day. Why? Right? And Sadhguru says, we've known for thousands of years, you don't need to eat very much. And now, because there's $1 billion of research discovered something we've known for thousands of years, which is you don't have to eat that much. And they call it intermittent fasting, which is good, but we've known it for all this time. So let me break this down for you. The whole fucking 3 meals a day was an industry narrative to sell you on fucking breakfast. That's it. Did you know that? The whole idea that breakfast is the most important meal and you need to eat 3 meals a day was a marketing, look it up, a marketing ploy to sell you breakfast foods, to sell you cereal. And 2 snacks, right, is a marketing ploy to sell you more food. I am telling you, you don't need to eat that much. Why not? Why not, Dr. V? Why don't you need to eat that much? Okay, and Sadhguru talks about this. Now listen, I studied this in med school, but I never pieced it all together. Okay, when you eat, let's say you eat a big meal or any meal, when you eat, what happens? And we've studied this. I learned this in med school. So your body naturally diverts a lot of energy to your gut, obviously, right? Your gut from mouth to anus is one long tube. It goes, think about it, your plumbing. It goes from your mouth, your throat, your esophagus is one tube, and all the way down to your stomach is a tube, all the way down to your intestines, and your small intestines, then your large intestines, and then your anus. You poop out. And if I dissected it all out, stretched that out, you'd be a long, skinny tube, roughly 23 feet long. 23 feet. That's how much intestines you have. That's how big your digestive tract is. So when you eat, guess what happens? Your body has to naturally divert blood flow, uh, chemicals, hormones, focus, and energy to your digestive tract. So if your body is diverting all of these resources to your digestive tract, where is it taking it away from? Your brain. Your brain. Does this make sense? So you are not thinking as clearly. In fact, if you want to get ahead in business and there's a business meeting, a business negotiation, feed them. Feed your enemies. Feed the people you're negotiating against. But you skip. You drink a green smoothie. Your brain will be sharper and clearer if you intermittent fast during a conference call, during a negotiation, because your combatants are eating a sandwich and chips from Jason's Deli because that's all they ever order. And they're going to get snoozy. You just have to wait it out to about 3 p.m. when they're groggy and their mind is like, I just want, okay, whatever you want. I'll sign on the dotted line. You can have whatever you want. Because your body is taking blood flow, chemicals, resources away from your brain and hitting your digestive tract. So the more you eat, are you getting smarter or are you getting dumber? Dumber. I promise you. Right? And you don't have to eat. So what happens when you sleep? Let me give you the next tip because people are very confused by this. Who believes that you will starve to death if you don't eat before dinner? Who here believes, if you don't eat at night, you can't go to bed hungry. You can't go to bed without a snack. Comment if that's you or was you. You had to eat before you went to bed. Let me tell you something. You're not going to die if you don't eat at night. Okay? Let me tell you this. Now, don't get bugged. Hear what I'm saying. People in today's world, 2021, do not starve to death. I want to be very clear about this. No one starves to death in the modern world. Don't get bugged. Don't get triggered. I realize that there are a lot of people, and I was one of them. I'm a Vietnamese immigrant, right? Like a lot of the people believe that, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people who go to bed hungry. That's hunger. That's not what I said. I said starvation. In the modern world, in 2021, no one, doesn't matter where you live. You can live in India, you can live in Africa. No one starves to death anymore. Well, millions and millions of people go to bed hungry, but that's different. But no one starves. So just because you don't snack at night, you're not going to starve to death, especially if you're 300 pounds. You got plenty of reserves, trust me. But we've been brainwashed to think that I have to eat, otherwise I'm going to starve to death. It's not effing true. In fact, what we have studied sleep so much now. There's so much we don't know about sleep. And we're starting to realize that sleep is super important to your health. Now, watch this. What happens when you sleep? Well, your body, obviously, they've studied the brainwave patterns, and you have different brain waves of consciousness, alpha, beta, theta, gamma, delta, blah, 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 right? But in a nutshell, your brain is learning. Your brain is, let me talk about it this way. Your brain is sending out hormonal signals to your body to heal itself. So your brain is sending out hormones to make your body heal the toes, heal the feet, get lymph fluids back, all that sort of stuff. Regulating your female hormones, regulating your testosterone level, men, right? It's regulating all that stuff. That's number one. Number two, your brain is processing memory, is learning. So this is whatever you studied for the day, whatever you learned, whatever memories you make, it's storing it into your memory. So it forms memories while you're sleeping. It does repairs to itself. It repairs your body's another organ. That's the power of sleep. But how does that happen? Who knows the answer? How does that brain happen? Nerves, neurons? No, it's the highway of the body is your blood system. It's just like, when you have a blizzard or a snowstorm or coronavirus, these truckers, Brexit, when Britain left the European Union, and there were all these truckers that were stuck at the border and they couldn't go, and all this food and fish and seafood was dying because it wasn't getting into Britain. So that's similar to that for our bodies is the blood flow system, the circulatory system. That's how you get the hormones. The hormones make it from your brain to your body via your circulation. Like it doesn't like, oh, Dr. V, I just thought it miraculously made its way down like that. Like it doesn't travel through your tissues. It goes into your circulatory system and then goes to the lungs, go to your organs, and then make its way into that organ. Does this make sense? All right. So your brain has massive sugar, glucose usage at sleep time. So what happens when you eat a big meal right before you go to bed? Are you helping your brain or are you hurting your brain? You're hurting your brain. So one of the things you can do is go to sleep a little bit hungry. If you want to get healthy, go to sleep a little bit hungry. Like drink your water instead. Your brain needs water. Now, why? Blood is 80% water. And I just told you, blood is the highway system to our whole, how we work. So give it what it needs. It needs water. It doesn't need food. Food is the opposite of what you need at nighttime. But we've been so brainwashed to think, I've got to have this snack. I have to have this treat. I have to have this ice cream. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous. You don't need to eat that much. In today's video, Sadhguru talks about, eating with your hands. But I'm just going to say this briefly. He literally means eating with your hands, touching your food. But I would also tell you, you need to know where your food comes from. Like making a green smoothie today, I went out to the garden and I harvested my greens out of my garden. I harvested the romaine lettuce, the bok choy, the broccoli leaves from my broccoli plant, and my nasturtium flower and nasturtium leaves, right? Which I never had before. I'm not dead. I ate it. I'm still doing good. I'm still here yelling at you. Okay, so it's important to know where your food comes from. And I think that's what he really means when he says eat with your hands. Number 3, eat with gratitude. Like, know that people are going hungry, but you're not going to starve to death. Be grateful. Be grateful that, like, you don't have to snarf it down. That's the opposite of gratitude. How many families out there, oh, let's say our prayers, let's say our blessings. Dear Lord, thank you for this food we've been given and help it bless our bodies. And it's a fucking full of chemicals and processed foods and fried foods. And you're asking the Lord to bless this food, to nourish your body, and it's fucking pizza. And it's just, I have nothing against pizza, but you can't sit there and say that, like, that's nutritious food and sit there and go, oh, green smoothies from the earth is nasty. What's wrong with you? Gratitude. And then what they do is what? Oh, amen. Here it comes. Watch out, belly. Here it comes. Like, what is wrong with us? Sit down. Chew your food. Say, okay, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm fine. Gluttony. Isn't that one of the 7 sins? The deadly sins is gluttony. Yeah, we want to hang our heads on prayer and church on Sundays. Like somehow that's kind of, you never talk about gluttony. Which takes me to the last tip Sadhguru says. Like, don't form bad habits. Don't try to form good habits. That's dieting, right? I think I'm going to form a good eating habit, whatever. He says, no, what you should do, if you're doing a bad habit, snacking at night, smoking cigarettes, drinking too much, you're doing that because you're unconscious. You're not aware. You're not present in the moment. I'll give you an example. We talked in a group this week, and somebody had a really stressful week, right? Lots of business deals, meetings, and she said, I'll just be honest with you, I didn't make great choices. What didn't you do? M&Ms. I just ate M&Ms and stuff. So when you're stressed out like that, you buy the M&Ms. That's conscious. You're aware you have the M&Ms. You open the M&Ms. You're conscious, and you go what? You go, I'm just gonna have one. I'm just gonna have two. I just need to take. It's like a drug, right? I just need to take the edge off. So you have two. You have one, two. I'm just gonna give myself three M&Ms, and you're conscious of that. But then before you know it, the whole bag's gone. What happened? After the third M&M, you went unconscious. That's what Sadhguru is talking about. If you were really aware in the present moment, you would say, I've had my three, I'm going to stop. And that's it. Sadhguru says, don't worry about trying to form good habits or bad habits. Just become aware of what you're doing, what you're eating. Because that's all that, Dr. V, I'm so stressed out. You don't understand how stressed out. I have had patients who were 65 years old, retired, grandmother. And I'll go, why are you 280 pounds? Why are you overweight? Oh, I'm a stress eater. Why are you a stress eater? Well, I thought you were retired. I am, but I have a lot of stress in my life. Like what? What do you do? Well, I have to take care of my grandbabies. And in back of my head, I go, so you're fucking blaming your obesity on your grandbabies. I was like, why are they so stressed? Well, both their parents work and I have to watch them. Don't you like watching them? Yeah, but they're running around and they're loud and they're like, don't you love your grandbabies? See, this is how screwed up we have gotten. How we want to blame everything and everybody, right? For our own actions. If you want to get healthy, if you want to eat right, be conscious. No, I am choosing this cup of coffee. I started my morning with my green tea. I'm choosing. This is my second glass of water. This is my second smoothie I've made today. I am choosing this. That's all it takes. Okay?